Why isn't every app a peer-to-peer app?
Boy, I think the incentives, well, I think two things. I think incentive structures have been off. There's no incentive for Facebook or Google to let you not only control your information, but to limit what can be surveyed, authorized, and tracked. I mean, that's the ads model. And
Mm-hmm.
even the premium version where you go, hey, okay, well, pay for a premium, encrypted, messenger or email storage. I think that's fine. It's just been difficult to make those systems, I think, economically viable. And then I genuinely think the other equally, if it's like 50%, times A plus 50%, times B, would be the infrastructure. I think you need a universal open source DIDCOM infrastructure that has been adopted where identity is a key component and it's cryptographically controlled by the individual. Like you can have peer-to-peer messaging or peer-to-peer file sharing, but if you don't have, distributed or decentralized identity or a DIDCOM system, it's just on a subnet. You need to make things interoperable, or else it's only going to scale to the scope of that one use case and application is going to be able to.
Hmm. How do you convince other people to build on this DIDCOM standard or build
Yeah,
peer-to-peer apps?
I think it's the call to action to show that users are fleeing to us, or they're fleeing to control, discretion and control of censorship and surveillance resistant norm. I think you should be asking them, as we eat market share, it's less about us expanding market share than demonstrating that individuals say, hey, dude, I get 80%, 90% of whatever I'm doing already on this other application, and I don't get the downside. I don't get the arbitrary cutoffs. You don't control, survey my data. I don't have to worry about encryption keys. And then you can start saying, I think it's an economic call to action and incentive structure to say, hey, look, like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. I mean, we can pick smaller networks. You go, a Zoom or email, you can go, hey, look, you're losing market share. It's unnecessary. You can have your cake and eat it too. But most importantly, if you don't adopt it, people are just going to you need to provide a sufficient value proposition that's so novel that you're not interoperable, you're not free open source, you're not peer-to-peer, not encrypted. Why am I stuck on a subnet? And by the way, there are certainly use cases. They're just fringe cases. They're more extreme cases, or some wildly efficient or effective application. But even those applications should be, you would think, augmenting everything else. If you're streaming video games, you go, hey, look, Steam or Twitch is great, but the messaging, the video streaming, the payments, the marketplace, does that need to be centralized?
Mm.
I think it should just be normalized in the consumer's mind to challenge the
Yeah.
status quo.